Hello. So here we are again. We're at the end of the day 13 bats. We're moving into the day 1 E, and today I'm going to talk to you about the E Trecena. So E, what do we know about E? Well, I know that many of you have been watching these videos for a long time, and maybe you've been reading a page and you've got some ideas and this kind of thing, and so you probably know by now that E is all about the journey. It's all about the path, and as we're moving through this lifetime, as we're moving through our life's journey, we come to these points where, about 3 weeks ago, we came to the point of 7 where we realised that we'd come to the end of a path, by the end of the journey. That was in the Trecena. Then we went through the Trecena, the rebirth following the death. And now, after the Trecena, we're moving into the E Trecena. We're moving on to the new journey, the new path, the new road. And I see it kind of like we went through the death, then we went through the rebirth, and now that offspring, that newborn, is taking to the road, venturing out for the first time on this new path, this new journey, this new road. And I'm sure that many of us feel like we're moving into a new world right now. We're moving in a new way. Maybe we're exploring some new areas that we hadn't explored before. This is very it's kind of like, sometimes, we might have some fear, some trepidation about the journey that we set out on, because there's a lot of unknowns on a new path. There's a lot of unknowns on the new road. We don't know exactly where it is that we're going. We don't know exactly where it is that it might lead. But there it is in front of us. It's this path that we're ready to take. And, if we get over the trepidation of it, we realise this is a great new opportunity. We realise that this new path allows for new experiences to happen. Every time we go to a new country or a new town even, there's the unknown there. There's those bits that we haven't encountered before, and every time we face the unknown, we are able to grow. We're able to increase our experiences, and sure, we'll come up against things that we haven't come up against before. Maybe it'll be a new language, maybe it'll be, just new customs or something like that. And it helps us to grow, it helps us to evolve, it helps us to move forward. And we could look at ourselves as being the emanations of Great Spirit, of Aq'ab'al, or whatever you consider the oneness to be. And we've come here to experience. And so 1 E, or the Trecena of E, is all about embracing that new experience, taking the road less travelled, the road that you've never travelled before, the new path. So it gives a great opportunity for new experiences. And we're going to begin with 1 E. So 1 E, the birth of the road, the beginning of the road. The 7 E, it was the end of the road, and now we're going forward on the new road. It's a great time to take a new journey, to boldly go where no one has gone before, as you might say. To look at it and ask for blessings on your new path. It's a great day to ask for that. It's a great day to ask to be shown a new path. Maybe you've kind of like realised that those old paths that you were on, those old journeys that you were taking, it's not to negate any of the experiences that you've had or anything like that, but you realise, right, okay, I've done that now. I've had all the novelty that's there to be had on that road. Now I need novelty. I don't want to repeat the same journey. I want to go on a new journey. I've got new stuff to learn. And so you might even find that in the Trecena you might feel a little bit restless to get started on this new path, this new journey. So these are things that can come in on 1 E. Maybe you're looking for a new direction. It's a great day to ask for new direction to come in. And sometimes, right now I'm thinking, or I've got in my head, about baby birds leaving the nest on their first flight or something like that. Sometimes mama bird has to give them a little bit of a push. And that one, sometimes it needs a little bit of encouragement to get going on that new road. So if you've been thinking about taking a journey, if you've been thinking about maybe trying out a new path, a new course of learning or something like that, this is also the time to begin it. So maybe I'm just an eternal optimist, but I see one as a huge potential for a new journey, a new path of life that you can take. From one we're then going to go into two Ach. So Ach, the Nawal of the home, the Nawal of harmony in the home, the Nawal of bravery, the Nawal of standing up and doing and saying the right thing in order to bring harmony to your home and harmony to your community. And here we see it with the number two. The number two representing duality, but also representing relationships. So two Ach could be seen as a really good day for bringing harmony into your domestic relationships, in particular if there's something which is out of balance, if there's something which needs to be said. Tuach is the day on which to bring up the bravery, bring up the strength, bring up the backbone to say what needs to be said in order to bring harmony to your close relationships. It's also a day to be looking on both sides of the story because, Ach, as in a Nawal of leadership, we would see as, the true leader is the one who can really see both sides of the story, the one who can embrace the both and come up with, an alternative or a solution which embraces both points of view, both sides of the story, to try to create harmony, to try to compassionately work with the energy to bring the best result for all. So sometimes we do that not just by listening to the one side, and maybe there's one side that we agree with more or something like that. We've got to listen to the 2 points of view, maybe the opposing sides, in order to bring true harmony to the community. Now that's not being apologist for anything or anything like that. What is correct, what is morally right, what is ethically correct has to be adhered to. But if we're to create harmony, if we're to create bonding and a cohesive society, we have to take in all points of view. We have to listen to them, understand them, and then create a course of action from what is morally correct in order to keep society moving forward in the correct way. From 2 Ach, we're then going to go into 3 Ish. So we're on this new path, we're on this new road. Ish, the connection to the planet Earth, the connection to the feminine, the connection to the magic within you. And within you being the really operative words on a 3-day, about looking inside for it. Because sometimes, we go on these journeys almost as a distraction. We think we're going to go and find the magic of the road and the magic of the path, and quite often, whenever we're branching out into something new, we do find something like that. But there's also the simple other part, that the magic, the sacred space is within you, and 3 Ish asks you to nurture that, asks you to look for the feminine part within you, also asks you to pay attention to the sacred within, pay attention to the magic within you that's there already. And when you take this new path, remember that you're carrying your sacred space with you. We could say, well, here's my altar, one of my altars. I've got my fire altar as well down in my other garden. But, in some ways the sacred is here, it's in your heart. And wherever you travel, that sacred altar is always within you. So 3 Ish is looking to pay attention to the sacred within. And remember that you carry that with you everywhere you go on your journey. From 3 Ish, we're then going to go into 4 Tz'ikin. So Tz'ikin, the Nawal of the vision, the Nawal of thriving, the Nawal of prosperity, and the number 4 bringing it into the material realm, grounding it. So it's a great day to ground your vision, to bring it down to earth, to manifest it into this plane. So if there's something you've been thinking of for a while, this is a great day to bring it in. Now if we take it into account with the journey, the new path and that, the 4 Tz'ikin we can see as kind of like creating the roadmap, because Tz'ikin gives us the ability to fly up high and see what's ahead of us. And 4 is putting it into something solid. And so, like, you know, when I talk about manifestation of the vision, well, that's, you know, that's one way of looking at it. But another way of looking at it is kind of like, if Tz'ikin is able to give you some foresight into your journey, the number 4 is talking about creating a plan from it, creating a roadmap, if you will, for your journey. So it could be a great day to envision. You know, the one yes, it's a good day to begin a path, begin a road or something like that, but it could also be seen as a great day for the beginning of the planning of the journey. And if you were in the planning stage, then 4 Tz'ikin is certainly about putting that plan down on paper. Maybe you kind of like want to set down some, you know, waypoints on your journey. Towns, places, experiences that you want to pass through, getting from A to B, for example. Tz'ikin will give you the vision of where you need to go, and the 4 brings it into the physical. From 4 Tz'ikin, we're then going to go into 5 Ajmak. So Ajmak, pardon, forgiveness, being human, the Nawal of redemption, and the number 5, the number of work, the one hand that we do work with. So, you know, when we talk about work, we're talking about hard work, we're talking about putting our energy into a system, and here that system is forgiveness. And so this is a good day maybe to put your energy into the things that you maybe find a little bit more challenging to forgive. It's about, well, we might say putting your money where your mouth is. That's one way of putting it in particularly British phrase. But it's about saying, right, okay, let's put our energy into this forgiveness process. Whether it's forgiving the self, forgiving the others, asking to be forgiven, however it works. Sometimes it's not going to happen if we just sort of like sit around waiting for it to drop. We've got to just go out there, put our energy into it. And so this is a good thing to do on 5 Ajmak in order to increase our return. You know, it's kind of like the more energy that we put in on a 5-day, the better the return that we get from it is. So from 5 Ajmak, we're then going into 6 Noch. So Noch, the Nawal of the mind, the Nawal of the brain, the Nawal of, in particular, the left hemisphere of the brain, the knowledge. This is something we're consolidating. We're using our knowledge to come up with a plan. Once again, if we're in the planning stages of our journey, this is a time to kind of go through what we've learned, go through what we understand, go through the knowledge that we've received on our previous journey, and put it together. Now, the 6, you know how I love these 6s. You've got the physical plane, and we've got the divine masculine and divine feminine coming into that physical plane. So it's kind of like an inspired way of bringing knowledge into the physical. And so this is a great day to kind of like just search your mind, but maybe search your feelings as well, as to where you want your journey to take you. To use the knowledge that you've picked up along the path that you've walked so far to help to take you on the next path, to put the pieces together. You know, it's kind of like, okay, you know, we see behind me lots of books and that kind of thing. They're stored knowledge and all that. But it's, you know, we need to take them out, we need to read them, we need to look through them, and we need to say, oh, right, okay, well, yeah, okay, I want to experience that. I read about it, now I want to go for it, or however it is. To take the knowledge which is stored in our minds and to translate it into the physical realm to lead us forward on our journey. Now, it's not just about taking us in the physical way, it's also divinely inspired. So there's that part of it that's coming in as well. From 6 Noch, we're then going into 70 Hash. 70 Hash, the final cut. That's one way of looking at it. You know, the 7, the top of the pyramid, the end, the death, the final. And Tijax, the cut, the surgery, the end of the healing process, or the end of one healing process. And also look at it as, you know, that final cut. We've been through the Kawok Trecena. We're going to be moving into 8 Kawok after 70 Hash. Now, what would be kind of like, in some ways, we could see, you know, the finishing of the birthing process could be seen as being cutting the cord to finally release us. If we want to take a new journey, we have to cut the cord, we have to let go, we have to detach from what we're attached to so that we can move forward. And so we could see this very much as being the 70 hash, the final cut so that we are released to go forward on our journey. 70 hash could also be the end of the healing in one way, the end of the surgery that leads to, the completion of the healing. So it's a great day to go and get some healing work done, particularly energetic healing. Could be a good day for surgery as well if that's something that you got planned or anything like that. It's a nice balanced day. It's the end of it. From 70 hash we're then going to move into 8 kawok. So 8 kawok being the celebration of the birth, the celebration of the midwife. It's kind of like I said, we got the 70 hash, we cut the cord and yay, we're done. Time to be birthed. The birth process is complete. We're celebrating the new birth and the old birth, the 1 and the 7 together. And so this is where we're going. So 8 kawok, also about clearing the obstacles. On kawok days, yes, we're giving thanks for the female healers. We're giving thanks for the birth process. We're also looking at this idea of being able to wash away that which stands in our path, because that's what kawok does. It opens the way for us to move forward. And so in this opening of the ways, we might call on kawok to help us, to release us from the obstacles, to wash them away with a flood, so that our path can be cleared, so that we can move forward freely. After all, as I say, we've been cut, the umbilical cord has been cut so that we can move forward, and now kind of like, let's wash everything out of the way so that we can. So we give thanks on 8 kawok for the new birth. We give thanks for the health of the mothers. We give thanks for the health of the babies. We give thanks for the work of the midwife, bringing in this new life into the world. And we give thanks for the clearing of the obstacles so we can move forward on our new path. From 8 kawok, we're then going to move into 9 Ajpu. So, once again, this is a rather beautiful day. Ajpu, the divine path. Ajpu, the quest for the divine in the physical world. Ajpu, seeing that divinity in the world around us. And the number 9, the number of life, the number of the divine feminine. So this is a particularly good day for women to ask about their spiritual path, but it's also a really good day to incorporate that spiritual path or that sacred path, that sacred journey, into life. The number 9 representing life itself. So it's kind of bringing it to life. This is taking your regular path, your life path, your one this new journey that we're beginning, and seeing it as a spiritual journey within life. And so it might give you some more hints, let's say, as to what you might wish to encounter on your new journey, on your new life path. How you can turn that physical journey into something sacred. How you can incorporate your sacred evolution, your spiritual evolution, into the physical path that you tread. So it's a great day again if we're still in the planning phase for understanding which kind of spiritual points we might go through, how we want our soul to evolve on that journey, what we're heading for on that journey. From 9 Ajpu we're then going to go into 10 Imox. So Imox representing the waters, the oceans and the lakes. Imox representing the dream and representing the collective consciousness. And the number 10 representing community, representing cooperation, coming together. It's a great day for getting together with your community and helping to manifest the dream of the community into reality. It could also be a very, very strong day to be connected with your community in a kind of like, through the psychic network rather than actually kind of like anything else. It could be a bit overwhelming as well, because it's kind of like Imox days are very empathic days. They're days on which we feel a lot of things around us. We might feel them more than usual. And with 10 Imox, we would be likely to feel the emotions of our community in a particularly strong way. Because sometimes we need to learn, if these emotions are overwhelming, if they're too much for us, we need to learn how to detach from them so that we can see things more objectively. But at the same time, it could be a great day to tap into that collective dream of your community, of the people around you, and see how you can assist each other to bring that dream into a reality. From 10 Imox, we will then go into 11 Aq'ab'al. Now, 11 Aq'ab'al could be a bit of a wild and crazy day, because we've got Aq'ab'al, which is known for its turbulence. It could be a very wordy day, but it might also be a day where, let's say the words get a bit confused. You might kind of like go mumbling off into something. The 11 being here, there, everywhere, collecting things from many different places. Maybe there's many forms of communication which are coming into you to help to guide you on the road. But it could also be a day with the strength of the 11, and let's say 11 isn't exactly seen as the most obvious directions. It can kind of go off at tangents and that kind of thing. Now, when you combine that with the power of Aq'ab'al, we might find ourselves blown around all over the place. And one of the things with Aq'ab'al is we certainly can't control Aq'ab'al. We don't know when the wind is going to change and how the wind is going to change. And with the 11, we don't know which direction it's going to blow us in next. So 11 Aq'ab'al might be a good day for putting down your anchor, sitting down, taking some time to allow you to see which way the wind is going to blow, rather than react, and particularly rather than react to words, to take some time to allow things to settle. It's kind of when there is a storm going on, when there is a gale blowing outside, maybe that's the time when you look and you think, you know what, I'm going to leave it a little while before I go out on my walk. Now, it's not to say that there won't be some important communication coming through with 11 Aq'ab'al as well. That's quite a possibility. But it might be that we only see the importance of it later on, because that 11 can be a bit like a join the dots picture. We only get the true picture of it once we've seen all the dots joined, because if we're following the crayon too closely, we're only focusing on exactly where each thing is at each time, and we don't see the bigger picture of it. So the bigger picture that comes through the communication we receive on 11 Aq'ab'al might be something that comes later on in the day. So if you try and move too early on an 11 Aq'ab'al day, you might kind of like find yourself at least changing direction, if not blown in the wrong direction. From 11 Aq'ab'al, we then go into 12 Aq'ab'al. So the number 12 representing all of life's experiences, and Aq'ab'al representing the new concept, the new dawn, the new light of the world, new day coming in. And so we see all of these things together. So as we take to the road, as we begin planning this new journey, this life path that takes you forward, 12 Aq'ab'al gives us the opportunity to look back on our existing knowledge, to look back on our experiences so far, to bring them together and help us to craft a new concept for our new path. It can help us to shed light. Aq'ab'al is the emergence of the light from the darkness. It's that twilight that's bringing in the dawn. And so we go through the darkness, we emerge into the light, and when that new light comes, it shows us, sometimes maybe you've had this experience. You turn up at a campsite at night, and it's not until the next day that you actually really see where you are. Maybe you thought you were in a bunch of trees, and when the light comes, you realise, yes, you're in a bunch of trees, but there's this beautiful view over a valley in front of you, or something like that, and you appreciate it with the dawn. So maybe there are some experiences that you need to bring together for your new road, and 12 Aq'ab'al can help you to bring them together and shine light on the way forward, on the new concept that you're bringing in. And then finally, from 12 Aq'ab'al we go into the day 13 Cat. 13 Cat, well, Cat we can see as being the bringing together of what we might need for the journey. It's about filling our net. It's also about sorting through our net, working out what we want to hold on to and what we want to let go of, what we want to carry in our net as we move forward on a new journey, and what maybe has become a burden and now it's time to release. And the number 13 would connect that with the ancestors and connect it with the spirit world. So one way we could see it is the gifts of spirit filling our net. The gift of spirit helping us, propelling us forward on our road, giving us exactly what we need to move forward on our road. But also it might be kind of like looking at exactly what do we need and asking for guidance from spirit, asking guidance from our ancestors as to what we need to carry in our net to take us forward. Cat can also be a day for the release of that which binds us, the release of that which burdens us. And it's a really good day to ask for the assistance of spirit, the assistance of the ancestors, to release that which is holding you back so that you can move forward on your new path. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy your journey through this Trecena of the new journey, of the new excitement, the new experiences, and you plan your journey well. And I look forward to seeing you in another 13 days' time for the Trecena of Can. Thank you.